name is Voss.
I'm Luke.
And I'm Natasha.
Luke, you sound so enthused, man.
Oh, no. What happened? How did we get here?
I mean, it's been a long time coming. I was just thinking about this when we were coming downstairs. We got this announcement so long ago, and now it's finally here, and I couldn't be more excited, but I feel like it wasn't enough. They gave us 2 episodes, and it wasn't enough.
See, that's what a big part of what I wanted to get into with you, as a matter of fact, is the debate a lot of people have been having recently with how TV shows are being released, because if you recall, last year with not only The Mandalorian, but with The Boys Season 2, people started getting really pissed off that they were only releasing a few episodes or 1 episode a week.
Yeah.
And then something like Cobra Kai, they just released the entire season all in one day. You can blast through it, and then you can be sad that you wasted your life, and there isn't a new season yet. So with something like this, I feel like it's the complete opposite with how I felt with Mandalorian, where I had something to look forward to every Friday, where with this one, I have no fuck what's going on, and I feel like I just wasted my time.
Well, so housekeeping right out of the gate, as we just witnessed, we are still doing this over the interwebs, so Luke's voice will cut out and turn robotic every now and then.
I'm secretly a Zuckbot.
That's right.
He ain't real.
So today we're obviously talking about Wandavision, which is just a brand new thing that's being slapped in our face. So I feel like
Can
Go
I
ahead.
touch on what Luke was saying?
I was just going to go back to that, but
okay.
yeah, go ahead.
So real TV shows come out once a week.
I was going to say that I think it varies per platform, you know?
Yeah.
Well, traditional TV, aside from like what you guys like, Grey's Anatomy and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I feel like traditional TV doesn't even really like break into the mainstream conversation that much anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all about streaming services now. Like I was saying with Cobra Kai and all that other shit, like I can't tell you the last time someone was like, you got to watch this show. It's on CBS.
So, well, I think that happens.
Yeah, I mean, we watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
I watch This Is Us. Riverdale's coming back.
Yeah, it's on the CW.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Netflix is the only Netflix and maybe Hulu, but I don't really watch Hulu TV shows. But I feel like Netflix is the only like platform that just releases everything all at once.
And I was going to say, is that what's going on? Is that it's different streaming services trying to figure out how long they can stretch something out or how popular they can make something?
Because I'm not sure, because it's kind of a little bit of both, because I feel like on the one hand, Netflix has kind of made us soft and made us come to expect the entire season at once, and that's kind of how they've, Stranger Things season 67 is really talked about for 3 whole days, and then it goes away and no one talks about it until the next one, you know?
Exactly.
And then with something like The Mandalorian, you and I are constantly, it's almost Friday, here it comes. You remember that last week? And it feels like the conversation kind of overlaps into itself for a much longer span of time.
What do both of you prefer then? To have a weekly episode or to have everything dropped all at once?
I prefer weekly because I just watched Emily in Paris,
Okay.
and I finished it was 10 episodes and they were half hour each, but I finished it in a weekend. And then I told my manager, I was like, oh, I watched Emily in Paris because she told me to watch it. And then that was like the end of the conversation. But when we talk about This Is Us, it's like, oh, did you see the episode last night? And then we talk about it for a few minutes. And then the next week we talk about another episode.
So for me, that's where I'm kind of conflicted with WandaVision specifically, because these 2 episodes didn't really do much aside from like one line at the end of the first episode, and then like one 30-second clip with a radio interruption in the second, and then the rest is just nothing but like a poorly recreated sitcom.
So you didn't think that the guy or his boss choking? I'm just gonna get right into it, I guess. You didn't think his boss
that
choking
was gonna be the exception that I brought up later, but
Okay.
you jumped right to the guy.
All right, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, too bad we can't
If you
just
want to
rewind.
talk about Kitty Foreman doing the Halloween 3 ending, we can talk about it, but We already went off the fucking rails.
to lay that back a minute. So, Luke, you're saying it would vary between shows. It would be show dependent instead of network dependent, is what you're.
I mean, yes and no. I just feel like these 2 episodes didn't give me enough of an actual storyline, I guess.
So I think
keep me invested.
I'm not just playing the devil's advocate, but I feel like I'm always have tendencies to be the devil's advocate. I want it all at once. Like I don't care what show it is. I would have liked to chug through The Mandalorian and just got my geek and nerdisms out and then move on to the next show. To have it drag out like every fucking week to me is just like, because sometimes I'm too damn busy to sit down. And I guess, with The Mandalorian, we've made sure that we can sit down and watch a show, the night that it comes out just because we want to. But with the other stuff, like The Bachelor, we watch that days after it comes out. With Grey's Anatomy, we watch that days after it comes out.
Yeah, but we can't watch we don't watch The Bachelor when it comes out because it's live. We can't start it when we want to watch it. We have to wait until 8 o'clock to watch it, and then Tuesdays you're busy. So.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
But, yeah, I mean, I like week by week because I feel like I pay more attention when it's being released weekly.
Yeah.
Because when you can just binge watch a whole thing, it's like, oh, well, I'll just see what's going on next episode or whatever.
Well, I guess we can start to chug into it since Tasha already wanted to go there. The first episode obviously takes, because we've seen in the trailer that it's going to be jumping through decades, and I didn't know really if they were going to stay in the same decade, for multiple episodes or not, which maybe we will see that. I still don't know. Did they confirm how many episodes this was? Season 1 or this?
If they have, I don't know.
I'm going to look it up real quick.
It's probably like 6 or 10. I can't imagine it to be any longer than that, but...
And this is being announced as a mini series, so it's not...
Yeah, I doubt there's going to be a second season to this.
Yeah.
I think this is just like a setup or a jumping off point to all the shit that's coming up in the next shows and movies.
Yeah, probably.
Because, you and I would say, in terms of the movies, are on the same level of, I guess, fan. You know a lot more about comic books and all that other stuff. But for the most part, I really do like the Marvel movies, even though they are kind of all the same and they're not all like great fucking artsy whatever. But I don't know. Even as a big fan of this, I feel like these first 2 episodes didn't hook me enough, especially considering this is their first like show outside of the movies. I feel like this should have been a little bit more. And I just
is
didn't
this
really
officially the first Marvel show that's been confirmed for the MCU? I mean,
yeah, and was this originally coming out first? Because I know Falcon and Winter Soldier and Black Widow are apparently connected-ish.
I don't think so. I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was coming out first, and it got pushed.
That's what I thought too, but I'm not. We'd have to go back and check.
And I mean,
everything's gotten switched around.
We know that Luke Cage and Daredevil and who's the other chick? I'm drawing a blank on.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Punisher.
Yeah. So we know that they are now officially part of the MCU to an extent, but
so
I just read this morning.
Shield?
Agents of Shield. Oh, you're right. That is part of the MCU.
I just read this morning that Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil, was either on set or finished filming something for Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I heard that as well, that they spotted him on set for Spider-Man 3.
Which is really weird because I just told you earlier this week that I started watching Daredevil because I just wanted to watch it because I like the Punisher.
Yeah.
So I guess everything's gonna be connected in a few years, which is strange.
So to jump back just a minute, it says that anything I see online just says that WandaVision is to have more than 6 episodes. So my guess is probably 8. I would really like to see 12, but I think it's just going to be 8 episodes. And
fuck it, make it 24.
Well, that would make sense then if every episode's a different decade, because the first was obviously the 50s.
The 50s, right.
And then the second was the 60s.
Right. And Luke, did you pick up on that at all, or did you think it was all
Yes, I did get the I Love Lucy and the Bewitched stuff.
Okay, because, obviously episode 1 was more I Love Lucy.
That's another thing, is that, like, something people always, say is, like, everyone loves the nostalgia thing and recreating what works before. That's why like 80s nostalgia has been huge.
Right.
And Stranger Things and remaking every property that exists has been huge in the 2000s, 2010s, whatever. But like I don't know, this seemed like they were just rehashing the same few jokes and like, oh, isn't that funny that they're talking like they did when I Love Lucy was big? And it's strange because I love old shows like that. I love Dukes of Hazzard, Starsky and Hutch, you know, shows that no one in my age range even fucking knows about. And they did this, and I'm just like, okay, can we get to some story now?
I feel okay. And I don't disagree with you. I really don't. I think that there was some very drawn out portions in both of the episodes, especially in the second one with the whole magic show thing. I was starting to get a little annoyed because Vision was just acting drunk instead of acting like superhero Vision.
That was definitely a note I had, was both the very obvious joke that I'm sure everyone's been making, that he literally had his gears gummed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also watching Vision act drunk was not what I expected to see in the show at any point.
No, and the things that I would say are selling points for this, however, are, and I'm going to go back to, and we've referenced
was
this,
Wanda's outfit when she was doing the magician thing. No complaints there.
She is gorgeous, but that is not what I was going to say. I want to jump to our Marvel and MCU predictions that we did last year. And I think we talked about this just for a brief second, and I know we've talked about it in person several times. In fact, I brought it back up to Tosh while we were watching the episode. But I feel like this is going down the M-Day route, where we're going to see Wanda hit like a breaking point in her mental stability and fuck the entire like timeline up.
Well, yeah, because I'm sure we'll get into what we think is going on, because I have a few things, and
sure.
I know you have some shit that you must have caught that I didn't, because you said that there was something in the beginning of the second episode. I have no idea.
Sure.
Stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Stuff.
So, but from there, I feel like getting these like weird relapses of time that she's having is going to attribute to her mental stability, you know, and we'll go into from episode 1 the whole like innocent like I can't remember a thing, like how silly am I, that whole I Love Lucy spin on it, that is gonna play into, and we already know that it's playing into that, like how her character is going to function within the next, you know, decade or the decade after that. And then the big thing that Tasha already jumped straight to is the fact that Kitty went crazy and Fat Man was choking on a strawberry.
Can we mention the fact that she has not aged a fucking day?
I was so happy when she was there.
When she walked in, I was like, God damn. And I love her, so.
She looks the same as she did 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
What really pissed me off is that they didn't get Red Foreman to be the other guy. He's still alive, okay?
Yeah, they totally could have done that, and it would have been great. But can you imagine?
I would have been a lot more happy with the first episode.
What happens? Here's a good one. Let me just say this for a second. This is a great thing. What happens if they get to like the 70s and he shows up and she's with him and she's like, yeah, I got divorced from my first marriage, or he died, considering he's probably not in great health.
Or
anyway.
they just have her come back like they're having that one lady.
Yeah, but to see her and Red Foreman just together would be fucking awesome. I don't even know their real names because I've watched that 70s show so much. That's all I know. Oh boy.
I don't know. She's in Friends though. That's.
But what? Okay, so that is obviously that scene is obviously the first split in rift in the reality issues that we're having. What do you think that is like implying or leading to? Do you guys? Because I don't even know.
Well, she's definitely under some kind of. She's either in a coma or like under a spell or like in a slump. I don't know. Something's going on. And I don't even think she really knows.
Okay.
So I had asked Vox, because when he was choking, I was like, did she do that on purpose? Or was Vision doing something?
Are you saying that Scarlet Witch is making him choke?
Yeah, because they were trying to distract them from the questions that they were asking because they couldn't answer them.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe not, but it was very strange. I felt really uncomfortable with that scene.
Yeah, I think they did a good job making us feel uncomfortable. I think that was the point. But I don't think that Scarlet Witch was doing that. I think he just started choking, and then they didn't know what to do because they're trying not to use their abilities around people. And then that's why she says, Vision, help him, and he goes and helps him. But then that, like, it almost seems like when they use their abilities, it creates that rift issue, because he stood up and was like, well, look at the time, got to get out of here, you know, like it was like they didn't even
They acted like it never happened.
Right. And of course Kitty was
It's very like
lockdown.
robotic.
Yeah.
And like calculated.
I say Kitty, but her name in the show is Mrs. Hart. So, but anyways, yeah, it seemed
Have
like
a heart, would you?
she seemed to be stuck when she was like, stop it, you know, over and over again. And it was like, she didn't want to say that. She like started crying, but she was just like laughing while she was crying, saying stop, because she was in some kind of trance or glitch, or I don't know.
That makes sense.
I don't know. That's just my thing. The other thing that I think is really interesting is that we got, and I like it a lot, we got a commercial. And it was for a toaster in the first episode, made by Stark Industries, the Toastmate 2000. That's great to me. Thank you for tying
That's
in.
setting up for the Living Toaster spin-off show, actually.
I fucking hope so.
The Brave Little Toaster.
The Brave Little Toaster live action.
It's getting a gritty rated R remake in 2022.
So I really liked that, though,
Terrifying.
that they were just like, hey, okay, we're going to continue on because it's what Wanda would know in her, you know, in her mind, and there's someone that makes something as far as industrial or futuristic equipment. So, but again, we've said it already, it didn't give me enough. Like, I wanted to know more. Like, yeah, they set up characters and stuff that we'd see or maybe not see anymore, because who knows if
But like, I don't understand why. First of all, the episode's only like 30 minutes long total, and 7 minutes is spent on the closing credits. Like, I clicked on it, and there was still so much of the time bar left, and I was like skipping through to see if there was like an end credit thing.
Yeah,
because
we
you know
did the same
Marvel
thing.
big into that. What the fuck required 7 minutes worth of credits in this black and white episode?
I don't know. And I feel like there's something, but at the same time...
Oh, you're saying you think they hid something in the credits?
Yeah. Like, I feel like there's something in there. Because
that would definitely be more exciting than the actual episode, because the first thing they say is something about how Vision's head was indestructible, and the last time we saw him, he got his fucking head ripped out into. So I don't know who wrote that, but someone needs to.
I'll defend
someone needs
this.
to draft themselves.
Hold on, my Marvel shilliness is coming out. I'll defend that because at this point, we do not know how much Wanda knows of the past, the present, or the future. She's just in her own little thing. So she may, we're seeing, everything that we see is from her. Like, she thinks that his brain...
But is it? Because at the end of the first episode, we see some sort of, I guess, equipment room with some sort of, you know, Inspector Gadget-esque villain there doing some sort of nonsense that I have no idea what's going on.
Right,
because is that in her mind, or is someone putting those memories in there to distract her? I can't tell you, because these episodes gave me 45 seconds of actual storyline and 45 minutes of nonsense.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, the reason why I think that they say that is because that's what Wanda believes. And to answer your question on, like, is this, you know, is she put into something or someone watching her? Yes.
Are those the people in the Loki show? That would make sense.
No, they're not. So when we see the TV screen happen, in the right or in the left-hand corner of the other screen, there's a sword symbol, which sword is a group that we see Nick Fury on or with at the end of, is that the end of Endgame, I believe?
That's Far From Home, when he's in space.
Excuse me, then. Far From Home.
It's okay.
And so
that was like the third post-credit scene, so I can understand the confusion.
Right. So yes, that's the same group that we see Nick Fury with is the group that we are seeing watching Wanda.
See, I've been paying attention. We see it twice, if I recall. We see it once is on that little McDonald's colored helicopter that she finds.
Well, that's in episode 2.
Oh, I thought we were just doing in general.
Okay,
because
well, we
see it
can.
there,
Yeah, we can.
and the beekeeper slash blob scientist
Yes.
from the Blob remake.
Yes.
It's on his back. I saw it.
Yeah. So do you know what SWORD stands for?
Isn't that basically Shield in the whole universe?
So yes, they are SHIELD for outer space.
Basically space FBI.
Yeah, but it's Sentient World Observation and Response Department. So it's basically
Yes.
what it is. It's a counter-terrorist agency that kind of protects Earth from intergalactic threats.
So then maybe Sword has contained Wanda after she's gone crazy. Maybe we're gonna do time shit because Doctor Strange, you said she's gonna be in it. Sam Raimi loves him. Some crazy visuals. So maybe she blows shit up, and this is afterwards they've contained her.
That's what
and
I've heard, is that she's going to be in Doctor Strange. That's what I've read on the interwebs. So it's obviously true.
I thought you were on set.
Yeah, I was there, but I'm not supposed to tell you.
I thought you were Benedict Cumberbatch's fluffer.
I wish. His ball fluffer.
It's Eggs Benedict.
That's right. So anyways, that's why I'm going to say I'm going to defend that, because we're going to see some things that I bet counteract things that we've seen in the past as far as the MCU goes. And mind you, we still don't know how the world is going to be fleshed out after Tony's snap in Endgame. We're done with it, and that's the last fucking Marvel movie we got, pretty much. We get Far From Home.
It's crazy to think it's been over a year
No.
since we've gotten any MCU content.
Right. I mean, we got Far From Home, and we get a little bit of hint from, the things that were going on in there, but it wasn't it's just a Spider-Man movie. We're just focusing on that shit. We don't know.
Well, the next one's definitely not going to be just another Spider-Man.
Oh,
movie.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is we still don't know the complete changes in outcome that the world
Right,
has encountered
so
after Endgame.
I
So
feel
it could be
like
crazy.
This is when it's either going to get really weird and cool, or it's going to get really stupid and everyone's going to get sick of it. Because I understand I guess they're trying to do a David Lynch kind of out there surrealist thing with the one scene where that happens with Kitty saying stop it.
Yeah, freaking
But
out. Yeah.
I just don't think they needed to spend as much time doing nothing as they do, because I'm sitting there intently watching, waiting for stuff to happen, and we get a guy crawling out of the fucking sewers like the Ninja Turtles.
Right, but
I didn't need to spend 41 minutes for that to happen.
Okay, just relax. This is gonna be.
His time is precious, okay?
Yeah.
I know, I got shit to do.
And you have to remember, I think that's going to be hard for not only us, but a lot of other people, that this is a TV show. It's not a movie. So, although, yes, it is going to be tying together some major MCU, plot points and storylines, we are also going to have, these other, story building complexes, because they're making it a TV show. Now, the next portion, and I want to touch on the creepy beekeeper. The next portion thing is
It's really Buzz Lightyear.
it's really Buzz Lightyear. No,
Because
Bill Nye the
now they
Science
own it.
Guy.
we do see the sword symbol on his back, but we also saw in our second commercial that Stark Industries is making a watch. And
Was that Stark Industries?
Yeah, I believe
Well,
so.
wasn't that the same guy that was connected to Wanda, that made her? I'm pretty sure that's the same name, because it wasn't Stark, it was something else.
Oh, that's right. It was the
Because
guy.
I'm assuming it. Yeah, the guy who made Wanda and then the one that made Vision.
Yeah, you're right. Excuse me. You're right.
That's okay.
It was it's crazy name, but he's part of
Joseph Krakowski.
yeah, sure. And it had the Hydra symbol on it. The watch had the Hydra symbol.
Oh, yeah.
Did you catch that, Luke?
Yeah.
No, I know you caught that.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Hail Hydra.
I didn't know if you were, because I sat up and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "There's a Hydra
Well,
symbol."
yeah,
on
because
that.
because I was paying attention to the commercials because something else was happening.
Right. All right, you need to just relax.
Might I add though on that note, Paul Bettany is a much better hammy '50s actor than Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
And both of them are completely outshined by Catherine Hahn, who is my favorite part of the show so far.
Me too. And that was the thing I was telling Tasha. I was like, I'm afraid that they're going to make like the people that we shouldn't like really likable. And because I don't know, we still don't know like the situation that these characters have, you know.
I'm assuming she's gonna be like a angel on Wanda's shoulder sort of deal. I feel like that's why she keeps
like a fairy
coming
godmother.
up. Is kind of staying near, making sure everything's not fucked up. Maybe she's the one that's doing all this. That would make sense.
It may be. So we
knows?
get.
You guys don't think they're just carrying over the characters from each decade, because the guys that Vision worked with were the same, or one of the guys was someone that he worked with at the office.
Yeah, but that has me, and yes, I do think that, but that has me going back to what I was saying earlier with, like, there's some kind of glitch that is going on. So we don't know if these people are dead, if these people are figments of Wanda's imagination, you know.
Maybe she's hypnotizing people.
Right.
It could be anything.
So let's get into that. I think that
because
we should
she
talk
does
about...
do that in your favorite MCU film, Age of Ultron.
Yeah, you're right.
The best one of them all.
So let's get into that, because we get the weird saying through the radio. He keeps saying, like, Wanda, who's doing this to you? Can you hear me? Who's doing this?
Was that
to
a
you?
recognizable voice? Was that somebody I was supposed to recognize, or was that just?
I don't know.
Because I didn't get like, oh, that's Thor. Oh, that's Ant-Man. You know.
I don't know. I tried to listen, but I got so tied up with, like, oh shit, someone is talking to them, you know? So I don't know who or what's going on. I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, an interesting thing is I kept looking at the house that Wanda and Vision are living in, and I kept thinking, where the fuck do I know that house from? And do you know what house that movie is famous for?
Tell me.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. That's the same house on one of the back lots at one of someone's something or another.
Yeah, it's clearly on a stage or studio,
right?
Or whatever,
And that made me happy because I just wanted to go watch Christmas Vacation instead of this show.
While we're talking about that too, real quick, before we jump over to our predictions, I think that that's really good and a really cool thing that they're doing, because it's not. I mean, it is blatant stage. You know, like, they are on a set. They're not outside. They're not anywhere. It's a stage, and I really liked that, because it kind of, again, it gives me the Beetlejuice vibes almost, you know, where when they get shrinked down to Beetlejuice's size, you can tell that it's a giant plastic tree that was falling, you know.
Oh my God, it's
over.
Beetlejuice who's doing it.
You know, well, you never know.
We can't say his name 3 times. We already said it twice. That was a close call. There.
He didn't hear it, but I did. Tasha whispered it into the microphone.
We gotta cut it out. We gotta delete this whole podcast.
You gotta
right
leave now. No, I'd be friends with Beetlejuice.
Burn the house down.
Kidding me? I'd be all about that. Okay, so as far as predictions on where we're going, Luke, I know you were bored. I know you were not very enthused.
It wasn't so much that I was bored. It started to lose my attention, most definitely, but I was more just kind of frustrated that they were spending so much time to do so little, which is, again, something I said that I had kind of overall problem with the second season of Mandalorian, and it's annoying to me because I realized the thing that I'm so excited about with these Disney shows is that they can spend more time developing the characters, which is something I think you can both agree is kind of on the back seat of the movies, because, you know, we got to get to the big action scenes. And I was kind of hoping for more of that, and instead it's just kind of like, hey, the 50s, hey guys, you remember the 60s? Wasn't that funny? Okay, I don't know why I got to spend that much time for that fucking joke.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I enjoyed...
I just hope as we progress, we get more not only balancing the funny 70s, 80s, 90s sitcom humor, because I'm sure we're gonna get like a Brady Bunch and like a Full House and maybe even like a Friends, shit that was big in each decade. But like, give us something to chew on in this. If I wanted to watch the fucking shitty laugh track, I'd just go watch Friends.
Hey,
Luke, I get it, but I feel like once all of these puzzle pieces are put together, it's going to mean a little bit more than just like, do you remember this?
And maybe I'll come back and eat my words if it all comes together real nicely.
I wouldn't even say that you'd have to come back and eat your words. I get what you're saying. I feel you when you're saying like,
I'm gonna hang them next to the lobster.
That's fine. Okay, put it on the door.
Because that's what they did in the episode.
Yeah. But
See what I did there?
I understand.
You want me to say it again for the next 45 minutes, like this episode?
No, thank you though. I really appreciate you asking. But the first thing that you said to me when I asked you, like, hey, did you watch it? And what do you think before we talk about it? You said, I am not one who has watched 50s and 60s shows. So it didn't resonate with you as much as, like, if you were to watch a 90s spinoff of this or an 80s spinoff of this. Like you had said earlier, the 80 nostalgia is through the roof, so let's kick each other in the nuts until we throw up.
Which, do you think that means the 90s nostalgia is going to start hitting pretty hard soon?
I give it
because
another...
of like, the current trajectory?
Yeah, I give it another 10 years, and we're going to be...
Another 10? Okay.
Yeah.
So 2030, that's when the 90s...
yeah, I believe so.
We'll get GAC 2, and Good Burger will get a remake, and then...
well, they're already...
Justin Timberlake...
Hold on, actually.
Will be 95 years old
we could
with
see
the frosted tips.
We could see this maybe before that, because they've already announced a Rugrats remake. And it's not a live action.
No shit.
It's not live action, but...
Good, don't ever do that.
Yeah, but you haven't seen... This was announced like 2 years ago. They said that it was...
Oh, so then it's probably not happening.
It's coming out this year, I guess. It's set to...
Oh, no. Well, then check back here, ladies and gents, for our rant of the Rugrats remake.
Okay, total side note, not to spin this sideways, but I will have to send you a picture of Chucky Finster that they released for the Rugrats remake, because boy, oh boy, does it look bad. Anyways, WandaVision's a thing, and that's what we're talking about today. What do you think your what's your prediction on what's going to happen? Who's the big bad? Who's the not so big bad? What's going to become the outcome of at the end of this 8-part series?
Well, either you told me or I saw somewhere that some guy, he's like a devil-ish guy, is rumored to have been the bad guy. I don't know anything about this guy.
Yeah, I can't remember.
His name starts with an M.
Yeah, it's like Mephisto or Maestro or Mistro.
Again, I don't know shit about the comic books. I don't know if he's good, bad, or in between. But I'm assuming she's either captured somewhere and is...
It's Mephisto, by the way.
Okay,
Mephisto.
She's either on lockdown, she's losing her mind, she's controlling people. Honestly, there isn't enough yet to tell, but
the only reason
dissect it when we figure it out.
The only reason why people are saying it's Mephisto is because we see a stained glass painting or picture of him in the Loki trailer. And I guess he can do some pretty random ass shit. I will be honest with you, I'm not real familiar with this character. He was actually in the 2007 film Ghost Rider, for those who remember that. And he was also in the sequel, played by both two different great people. One is Pete Fonda, and the other one, I can't pronounce his name. But regardless of the fact, he's not foreign to the MCU in a case, because I guess this is technically part of the MCU. Ghost Rider is, right? Kinda? No?
I don't think Ghost Rider is, no. Well, but if they're going to bring him back, please, for the love of Christ, let Nick Cage play him again.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
That's all I really want out of life.
Right. Oh, okay, hold on. Mephisto in the remake of... Or not in the remake, in the sequel... of what's it called? Ghost Rider was played by the same guy who
Spirit of Vengeance.
Okay. I haven't seen either one of them, to be honest with you. He's played by the same guy who plays Dumbledore in Harry Potter.
Ian McKellen.
Nope. Siren Hines? Whatever.
Oh, I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings. I'm thinking of Gandalf. My fault.
Okay. I still...
different bearded white wizard.
Yeah. Same wizard, different guy.
Whoa.
Yeah, right? Put that in your noggin and spin it around. Anyways, regardless, I don't...
Well, Vox, considering you know 1,000 times more about comic books and the storylines that they're probably ripping from than Tosh and I combined, what do you think's going on?
There's
Lay
a
it
lot.
down.
There's a lot of stuff I think's happening here, to be honest with you.
Just go ahead, and I'll just sit there in utter shock that you know this much.
So for one, I really hope that Hydra is not the main villain or the main antagonist behind this series. I'm real sick of them. I don't care about them anymore. We already got confirmation that Zemo, I believe it's Zemo or Zema, whatever, is going to be returning for the Winter Soldier and Falcon series, and I like great, grand, wonderful. He was Captain America's villain too after Red Skull. That's awesome, but I just don't care. Give me something new. Let's push forward. Stop going around in circles with this. What I would really like to see happen, instead of Mephisto, I would really like to see Nightmare be kind of spun into this, because if they're saying that this series connects to Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange has already said that Nightmare is the main villain, why would it not make sense that Nightmare is fucking around with Scarlet Witch, and that we can, start seeing her tear the universe apart limb by limb? Now, I'll say that the universe is going to be torn apart, and this is my prediction as far as the side of Scarlet Witch, is because in the comics we see a thing called M-Day happen. It's basically the extinction of like humans in general, and it's all the humans die besides the mutants, or maybe I'm getting confused and it's vice versa. I don't really care. What I think is going to happen is kind of a side spin of the comics for M-Day. And M-Day is going to happen, but instead of killing the mutants or killing the humans, it's going to create mutants. And that's how we're going to get introduced to the X-Men. That's how we're going to get introduced to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because as much as they keep saying they're going to wait, you know damn well they're going to get Wolverine in these bitches as soon as they can.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're going to bring Wolverine in very quickly. I think the first person...
I don't think they should. I think we've gotten more than enough Wolverine stuff. I love Wolverine. His portrayal, his stories have made me a fan of him.
Right.
And I think we can give him a rest. We can let some of the lesser, because didn't you say there's like a ton of cool X-Men?
There's so many cool X-Men.
Right. So give some of them some of the spotlight. It's okay.
Let me throw this at you too, as I'm rambling here on my predictions. We've already got confirmation that not only is it going to be rated R, but Deadpool 3 is also going to be part of the MCU. A main character that we see in Deadpool 3 is part of the X-Men, and that's Colossus. Let alone that, the New Mutants, which is no longer going to be canon, it doesn't matter, but his little sister, Colossus that is in that movie as well. So we're already seeing like these introductions to these characters that are being thrown at us. What I would really like to see, and I don't think that Wolverine is going to be the first mutant introduced into the MCU, and if he is, great, fine, wonderful, let's burn that bridge to the ground already, because they're going to milk it dry if they do. I just think that we're going to see like maybe Colossus or Storm get kind of introduced, especially because Storm gets married to Black Panther in the comic books. Well, Black Panther, rest in peace, is dead now, and we're going to hopefully see his little sister take over. But Storm is from Wakanda, so I guess we'll be able to see.
Shuri's gonna become Storm.
No,
you heard it. You heard it here first. When they fucking do that,
no, they're
mark
not
it
gonna.
on this video.
I'll tell you why they won't go. They're not going to do that, because Shuri becomes Black Panther in the comic books. They're going to continue with that. She's already got the brain. She's already got the character set up. She's a great character.
I've been thinking lately they might bring back Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger to be Black Panther.
No,
I've been thinking about that.
I
don't know if they would, but it's been a thought.
I don't think they'll do that either, to be honest with you. I think they're going to continue on the and this is going to sound bad, but I don't care, the Black empowerment and the woman empowerment, because Black Panther is such a strong character.
You're right. That is hitting two birds with one stone.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that to, poop all over those two movements. I'm saying they're going to use that as a platform to continue on.
If you made $1.3 billion, you will damn be doing that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on.
And they already announced that there's going to be an all-female team, which is, oh God, is it X-Force or X-Factor? Why can't I remember what the fucking...
X-Force was in Deadpool 2, and X-Factor is a TV show.
No, hold on.
F Factor?
No, there's an all-female...
Girls do get it done.
Ew,
Back the boys.
I feel you. Shit. Team. It's an all-female Marvel team. What are they called? I can't remember. Oh, A-Force. Excuse me. Not X or anything. A-Force, which is an...
And not to be confused with the A-Team.
Yeah, right.
Which is not the same thing either.
Right. So A-Force is a completely female-led, like Avengers team, if you will. And it has She-Hulk, which is where we're going already with the TV show as the leader, if you will. We got fucking Storm is in it. We got Rogue is in it. We got Emma Frost. Although Emma Stone would be great. We got Medusa. So all of these characters, Scarlet Witch even, and the Phoenix. There's a whole bunch of female characters that are slapped into A-Force. So I feel like that's where we'll eventually go, to bring in, Shuri as the Black Panther, to then meet up with another mutant that is brand new to Wakanda. She comes out of nowhere because the snap really destroyed things and split realities and blah, blah, blah. They could spin that real quick and say, here's Storm, the first mutant of the MCU. She's not only female, but she's black from Wakanda, and being able to just spin that right around. Good for marketing, good for storytelling. Boom. There's my prediction on it. And I think that's kind of where we're going to set. I think that's why this is so important. This show is going to be so important because it's going to show the breakdown of what's happening in the aftermath of the Endgame, and we don't even know where this takes place. So this could be taking place before Spider-Man Far From Home. We don't even know. We don't even know where on the timeline they lay this down at. So what if
it's...
Uh-oh, Tasha's mind's spinning over here while I'm spewing information into her.
Doesn't she get knocked out by Thanos?
Who?
Scarlet Witch.
Or
like she's fighting him
yeah.
in Infinity War?
Yeah.
What if that's in that time? I don't know.
Oh, and you're going to say, like, right when she wakes up, that's when Vision gets his head ripped into. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe.
Ooh, that's a fun little spin on it. So you're saying that this is when the snap happens and she turns to dust? Or if this is like during...
That could be it too. Maybe whoever's watching her is like someone within like the soul dimension. Because didn't you say they go somewhere when
they get
when
locked,
the snap?
Yeah, they get locked into the Soul Stone, which is where
that's just stupid enough to be real. Ooh,
maybe she's like losing her shit because she lost.
Now Tosh is using her producer brain. See, now we're cooking.
Yeah, I don't know. And I will say, just to say it, I fucking hope not. I hope that's not the case, because it's gonna spin us sideways again for a timeline like relapse on where we're going to have to go back and figure out what's happening here and what's going on here. Where was she here? Because there's nerds like myself that will start delving through these movies and say, okay, she wasn't on screen here, so where could she be here?
Mm-hmm. Well, not necessarily on screen, but like her mind is going that way.
So
that's the way they could spin it. It was all in her mind.
Sure. So the last thing that I will say as far as my prediction on it, if the nightmare thing isn't true and he's not part of this nastiness that's happening. We've already seen Sword. We've talked about it a few times already. They're watching her through something. The reason why they're watching her is because she's obviously affecting time in some way, shape, or form. And then there's other people that are trying to say, who's doing this to you? Who's trying to figure it out? I don't think that Sword's the bad guys. I don't think they're the good guys. But I think that Nightmare's locking her down. They're observing it because Nightmare's now fucking with some kind of reality, and Sword doesn't like that shit. For the same reason that, the people in the Loki TV show don't like that, because they're like the time cops, if you will, and Loki's bouncing around with the Tesseract is really bringing their attention. So we have two kind of reality splits going on, and then to throw it back to Endgame, we have the Ancient One telling us that whenever you fuck with something in a timeline, it creates another timeline. So if it's not part of the one, it's part of another. And now my brain hurts because I'm talking about 10 different things at the same time, but I just feel like Sword isn't going to be the bad guy or the good guy, and I don't know where they're going to be tied in with the story still. I just don't know. End of rant. Mic drop. Done.
Very well done.
Oh, that was a mic punch.
Well, it sounded like you dropped the mic.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We're going to find out. Every Friday for the next 8 weeks, or at this point, I think 6 weeks, because we got 2 episodes right off the bat, we will uncover more and more and more about
But
this.
in the meantime, Vox, explain to the kids in the back row how we rate things in these here parts.
So this is something that we tried to do with The Mandalorian. If you're returning, there's like 3 people that watch that, repetitively, and we appreciate you. We are going to try to break down each episode just a little bit as far as our alignment. Here on Pick It and Flick It, we give it a pick if it's worth watching. We give it a flick if it's not so worth watching. But we also lay it out on a scale of 1 to 10, so you can decide whether it's, a good on the pick end or a bad on the flick end, or vice versa. Luke, for episode 1 and 2, what do you got as far as a number rating?
Well, again, to kind of recap, I guess, fully, thought this had a lot of potential and didn't really wow me as much as I was hoping for. So for episode 1, I give a 4 and then a 5.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So.
Tasha, for episode 1 and 2, do you have a number rating for us?
I mean, both of them combined, I'd probably say like a 7.
So if we broke that down in half for 1 in episode 2.
Okay, well, I give each. So I give.
Welcome to the
I
show.
would give 6 to 1.
Oh, okay.
And then 7 to 2.
Okay. Tasha and I are pretty much on the same wavelength here. I also gave a 6 to episode 1 and a 7 to episode 2. I have a feeling that those are going to be the 2 lowest ratings on my book.
I hope so.
I think that those 2 are going to be the weakest
I
performing.
hope so too. I hope I don't go any fucking lower.
I think they're going to be the weakest performing, because from here on out, we're going to start getting some heavy reveals going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get some pretty, some gut-wrenching cliffhangers at the end of some other episodes. So
And if at any point we get Vision saying, "Oh, behave," or like "cut it out," I'm going to smash my head into the TV.
Okay. The other thing we didn't mention, which I don't think is important yet because I don't know where it's going to go, because, again, I'm not super familiar with the twins that they have.
The Olsen twins?
She is pregnant at the
Oh
end.
my god.
Can you imagine?
Oh my god, is she going to give birth to the Olsen twins?
You got
Josh
it, dude.
just cracked the whole show.
The 90s is going to be Michelle.
Oh, fuck. Hey, did you know in Cabin Fever, the Eli Roth movie, one of the characters' T-shirt has the 18th birth date of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen on their on the shirt?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Exactly. I don't know,
Interesting.
but that's a thing. Look it up.
When did Cabin Fever come out?
I think 2004.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, we
So
know
there's
one of
something
them's
to look up.
probably dead at this point because she's so cracked
They're
out.
both
Do
still
you remember like a
alive.
decade ago when this Olsen was the least famous?
No one knew who she was.
Yeah.
What a world, huh?
And I honestly think, though, for a long time, we're going to spin it here for just a minute on the non-Marvel end, but I had the biggest crush on them growing up. I just personally, I thought they were very cute, and then obviously as they got older, I was like, you're fucking hot as shit. And then one of them, I don't know which one, did a whole bunch of crack cocaine and shot up a bunch of black tar heroin, and now she looks like Skeletor and probably has an eating disorder, and I can't bear to look at them anymore.
I
And-
want pizza.
Yeah, I know that song. And now Elizabeth Olsen, I think she gets better with age. I thought she was kind of like annoying and whiny looking and acting in Ultron, and then now we see her in this, and I'm like, God damn, like she's beautiful, she's fun to like, her character's fun. She's fun to look at too, but she's fun to like be around, as far as watching her on screen. And in Endgame, it was just like beat his ass, bitch. You know, like we were rooting.
I was
for it.
not a fan of her in Infinity War, but
In Infinity War.
yeah,
Why?
because wasn't she like letting her emotions like take over her?
Well, I mean, her husband, the person that she loves, just got like obliterated.
He's a
so.
robot. Who cares?
That's the pull quote for the DVD. He's a robot. Who cares?
Ultron sucks. Just slap that right up on there. He's a robot. Who cares?
Who cares?
That. I think that's a great place to end.
Until next week.
Until next week. Thanks for listening. Oh, fucking comment, subscribe, and like and shit. Whatever. Luke's too busy doing some other shit to put out a whole bunch of content with us right now. So every Wednesday we'll be dropping a one-shot. Make sure you follow for that. Every Friday we'll be keeping up with this stuff, and hopefully Luke's opinion gets better. And then once Luke's video over on Confused Reviews gets uploaded, we'll be back on course and chugging into the new year. We got a bunch of movies that are supposed to come out this year. 2020 fucked everything up. 2021, there's a slate.
I can't wait for the Suicide Squad to win Best Picture.
Well, I think that it's going to be beaten out by Godzilla vs. King Kong, which we just got some,
See, you say that, but The Matrix 4 is coming in hot.
Yeah, that's true. And we're also supposed to be getting Black Widow. And let's be real, people haven't seen Scarlett Johansson on screen playing Black Widow in a tight black suit very often. So we need to...
That's probably why they're waiting.
That's right.
We got to see every pixel up on the big silver screen.
I just don't. Just release it on Disney Plus. My name is Vox. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.